Aloha, y'all. Welcome back to the Socially Awkward Chef. I first want to say thank you so much for all of your subscribes, likes, and shares. We have 500 subscribers, and I am just so over the moon. And I reached out to y'all and asked what you would like us to make next, and the answer was a slow cooker meal. So we are going to get started with an oldie but a goodie. It is basically cream of mushroom soup, your favorite protein, some onions. So we're talking a handful of ingredients, super simple, and we're going to let the slow cooker do all the work. So with that being said, let's get started. We're going to use 1 can of cream of mushroom soup. And this is just the base of my slow cooker or Instant Pot. I actually have an Instant Pot. Now that we have our cream of mushroom soup in there, I'm just going to add a little bit of onion powder. This is kind of to your taste. We're not going to measure here, but if you want an approximate, I'd say about a half a teaspoon. To that, a couple of good pinches of garlic powder, and then about a half of a teaspoon of black pepper. Let's stir that around. I'm also going to be adding just a half of a cup of water to this. So whatever brand of cream of mushroom soup you're going to be using, just fill it halfway with water, and then we're just going to add it to that. Okay, in goes our water. I'm giving this just a gentle stir so we don't splash everything everywhere. That is good enough because we're going to be you can see we're just dumping all of our ingredients, 1 pot. This cannot get any easier. To our mixture, I have 1 onion that I just went ahead and sliced up into pieces, straight on in. Just give that a little zhuzh. And then I'm just going to set this just right off to the side so I can cut up my potatoes. You can use your favorite type. I usually say 1 potato per person or serving. And after we slice these, again, straight into our pot. And I'm looking for about that thickness. You can also use russet potatoes or red potatoes, whatever is your favorite. And I can see this has a little bit of brown bit, a little bit of a brown bit. So let's just cut that off. Last of our potatoes. So let's bring that right back up here. And again, just going to toss everything together. And I did not add any salt because our cream of mushroom soup is pretty salty as it is. I'm going to add in my chicken. And here I've just got skinless chicken thighs. You can use boneless, skinless. You can use breasts. You can even use pork loin or pork chops, which I also really love in this recipe. And I actually thought there were 4 in my package of these chicken thighs, but there are just 3. So we're just going to work with that. Same thing, give this just another zhuzh. And I want to slightly bury these chicken thighs. I have my chicken with mushroom gravy and potatoes and onions all ready to go. So for your slow cooker, you can set it on a low setting for 7 to 8 hours. If you would like it a little faster, you can set it on high, and that would go for about 4 to 5 hours. So I am going to set this on high, on slow cooker mode, and we will see you in 5. All right, let's check out our smothered chicken. This is looking good. Let me use my fork to check the doneness of the potatoes. And those feel nice and fork tender as well. This is actually the first time that I am using the slow cooker method in the Instant Pot. My times are a little bit off. I did say 5 hours. This actually took closer to 6.5 hours. Of course, you know your slow cooker best. I would say if you were cooking it on high, that it would be somewhere more like 6 to 7 hours. And if you're doing it on a low setting, that it would be more like 9 to 10 hours. Obviously, if you're at work, set it up before you get going to work. Everything should be well and good after you drive through traffic and from work and get on home. Let's dish up some of our chicken. Make sure we get our gravy and some of those potatoes. Now, one of the things that I forgot to mention in my haste was that I also like to add about 1/2 teaspoon of poultry seasoning, completely optional. When I went to check it at the 5-hour mark, I also gave it a taste and adjusted my seasonings. And I actually did end up adding just a tiny bit of salt. Our slow cooker smothered chicken is ready to eat. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for voting and for suggesting that we do a slow cooker meal. I hope you give this recipe a try. And until we eat again, y'all, aloha!